Hello everyone, welcome back. It is your friendly neighborhood Rashim, also admin of Sonic Revamp on Facebook. Check that out, link in the description. But yo, it's me here. So as you can see from the title of this video is pretty much gonna be talking about, something that's already been talked about for a while now. I just felt like I should finally get my opinion in. I've been, I've said my piece about it a couple of times, but videos tend to get more views and seem to be more interesting because you get something pretty to look at in the background. So my thing about this whole Shadow's gonna be an Echo, not gonna be an Echo, squaze kind of thing is just that, in all fairness, in all honesty, guys, let's just be honest with ourselves. Whether or not you just want him in, just want the character in despite everything else, or whatever have you, Shadow just really shouldn't be an Echo. Like, that's just the end all. It just doesn't make sense, from a character perspective. It doesn't make sense from an abilities perspective. I know that Echoes are those characters, but people are looking at it like, Echoes are kind of like semi-clone like, of characters that just not enough diversity from the core character that they're echoing. So that's just their way to fill in the blanks and give people what they want without wasting a lot of resources and have to come up with a bunch of new moves, yada yada yada. And I understand that all too well, but then that just brings me to my main argument, being that Shadow doesn't work as an Echo in concept. He just doesn't, because unlike the other Echo fighters that we've seen so far, he has a lot about him that diverses him from not just Sonic, but the whole cast as a general. And by the whole cast, I mean the cast of Sonic. Shadow and Sonic are similar to each other, yes, and they did play pretty similar in core games like Sonic Adventure, 1 and 2, and Heroes and all that kind of stuff. But then again, if you really think about it, in a Sonic game, who the hell doesn't play like Sonic? If you like, in all honesty, you got the spin jump, you got spin dash. Everybody can do that, and then everyone else but Sonic seems to have that extra skill or ability that is the thing that makes him different from Sonic. Sonic himself seems to be the bare minimum about what characters can do in a Sonic game. I mean, look at the footage you're looking at right now. I'm playing Sonic Mania Plus. We got Mighty Armadillo with his special stomp move. He's invulnerable to spikes when he's curled up in a ball. Great to flying squirrel. As the name implies, he can fly, will glide. More accurate. Tails can fly. Knuckles got his gliding, climbing, and all that stuff. And along with the spin jump and spin dash, which Sonic can do. But Sonic has nothing else that really diversifies himself from the rest of the characters. I mean, yeah, he has to drop dash and super peel out, but those are just all different types of running and the drop dash, basically a spin dash, pretty much. So again, there's just not enough diversity. I mean, making Shadow the bare minimum, it just doesn't make any sense. Like using the other characters as an example, except for Dark Samus. I can see why Dark Samus is an Echo, but I also agree with anybody who made the argument that Dark Samus really shouldn't have been, because Dark Samus did a lot of shit that's different from Samus, that Samus cannot do. But at the same time, it is just pretty much Samus's armor, but with the Phazon and Dark Eco, which manifested it into its own entity. But it literally is Samus's armor at the end of the day. So I can see where that thought process comes from, but I do still disagree that Dark Samus, which should have been Echo, should have really had a lot more of its own stuff, like the assist trophy had. But I can see why they went that route, kind of. But again, I still don't agree. But when it comes to like Chrom or Lucina, Dark Pit, characters like Daisy, characters like that, I can see why those characters are Echoes. They make a lot more sense for being Echo characters. But they sit up there and say like Shadow deserves, like Shadow. I know some people just want him in the game. They don't care how. Just get him playable. They don't care if he's an Echo. But I care, because what's the point of having Shadow in the game if he's not gonna be who you know him to be? What if Shadow's in the game? He's not gonna be the Shadow that you like. He's not gonna be Shadow. If he's just a clone of Sonic, pretty much, except for with a chaos control here and a different kind of kick there. That's it. That's a lot of people are speculating. Is he really the Shadow to come and love today? No, he's not. what made Shadow so different is that, you know, if there was any kind of comparisons to Dragon Ball Z, you know, with Sonic with the 7 Chaos Emeralds going Super Sonic before, Shadow is a character that really made Sonic Dragon Ball Z like. You know, he's adding, you know, he's coming in with teleports, you know, energy blast, you know, actual combat. You know, Knuckles did his little punch stuff, but Shadow's coming in with actual combat, you know, super strength and all this different, you know, different stuff. And it's just stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. It's like that's what really, you know, diversifies Shadow from Sonic. I mean, out of the two of them, Shadow's definitely more combat oriented than Sonic. He's definitely more about, you know, fighting than Sonic is. You know, he has a lot more chaos abilities. I mean, Sonic doesn't really have any chaos abilities. Yes, he can use chaos control, but he has to have the emeralds for that. You know, we see Shadow teleport even without the emerald, you know. And he's the one that basically told Sonic that about the thing in the first place. Sonic had no idea what chaos control was or anything. If anything, before Shadow, it should have been Knuckles, since Knuckles and Echidna, and they have like an innate connection to the chaos emeralds. But I guess we're just not going to focus or build upon that. So, you know, we gave the honors to Shadow. Here's Shadow in the game. Basically demonstrated chaos control for Sonic, you know, and you just introduced the whole concept of chaos powers in the first place. Because before, the chaos emeralds were just some MacGuffin you had to collect to get the real ending in a Sonic game. They didn't really, or if you want to, you know, get, you know, super transformations. Outside of the super transformations themselves, they didn't do anything by themselves, or really, you know, they were just pretty much rocks that gave you power. All 7 of them went together. You know, when Shadow comes in, he starts introducing different concepts, like you can use chaos emeralds individually for powers, increases, and, you know, whatever have you. And I'm saying that all that different things, you know, that made Shadow Shadow is, you know, it just would be a waste of a character if he was in as just an Echo. And another reason why I don't think he'll just be an Echo is because I just don't see Sakurai being that lazy, to be honest with you guys. I just don't. I don't see it. I seen Sakurai do some stuff, man. This guy, like, say for instance, I'm gonna use 2 third-party characters, Mega Man and Ryu. You know, Mega Man has this thing where he kind of like in his old games, and you can still do it in Smash Brothers. If you tilt the analog stick or whatever you use to move in the game, very like you just barely nudge the stick. Mega Man does this weird thing with his foot, but he kind of like nudges forward a little bit. You do that with any other character in Smash Bros. They don't do that, but Mega Man does that. He somehow still got the same movement animation for Mega Man that from his original classic games and transfer that over into Smash Bros. He didn't have to do that, but he did. Mega Man's knockback animation, everything, it's the exact same as it is in the actual Mega Man game. He didn't have to go that far, but he did. Ryu, for example. Now Ryu, Shoryuken has invincibility on Startup in Street Fighter. Also has invincibility in Smash Brothers as well. In the Tatsumaki, his spinning kick, also can on certain frames and certain, you know, when he's turning, like as he's spinning and doing the move, it can actually, projectiles can actually go through him on Smash Brothers just like it does on Street Fighter. Things like that he didn't have to implement in the game. He didn't have to give Ryu, you know, invincibility on Startup for Shoryuken. He didn't have to give it at certain frames at the Tatsumaki that it could dodge projectiles. He didn't have to do any of that, but he did. It just shows you the work and dedication that Sakurai puts into these characters. He doesn't just put them in the game and just give them their skill sets. He puts basically the whole origins of the character, everything that made them unique and special from their game, into Smash Brothers. And to just take Shadow and to make him a clone of Sonic, just bare minimum, just spin, dash, and homing attack, is not doing the character any kind of justice. Shadow has never simply just been a clone. I mean, of course, within gameplay, certain games, but like I said, most characters play like Sonic anyway. And, you know, I don't know what the deal was. I mean, they showed that Shadow could use chaos control and stuff like that in Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Heroes, but he doesn't really, well, Sonic Heroes did. He technically could for the team attack, but, you know, in Sonic Adventure 2, you know, I don't know if it's because, you know, the game, this was the first game Shadow came out with, you know, programming, this console limitation. I guess they're gonna figure out how to put teleportation and all that crazy stuff in the game at the time. But it doesn't mean that just because he played like Sonic in those games that he should just be a clone of Sonic. I mean, there's like story reasons, and I guess, you know, the progression, you know, don't want you feeling too overpowered. You know, whatever reason they decide to make Shadow just simply a clone of Sonic in those games, but you know, within cutscenes and other games, especially in the Sonic fighting games, or fighting games, the only one he appeared in was Sonic Battle. You know, he really diversified himself from Sonic. So I'm just saying that, to me personally, based off of all this information that we all know as fans, anybody who knows Shadow knows that he's vastly different from Sonic. You know, his mannerisms and personality, powers, abilities, and everything. The only thing they have in common is the same thing that every other Sonic character have in common. They can spin dash, they got the spin jump, and a homing attack. That's it. But anyway, that's been my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Share this video with a friend, uncle, your dog, whatever, you know, whoever will listen. It's been Rashim Smith, and I guess I'll see you guys around in the next video.